Hello and welcome. Today, the Sunday after Easter, we think about the passage when Jesus appeared to his disciples. And this is what it says in John chapter 20, from verse 19 to 21. On the evening of the first day of the week, when the disciples were together, with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and side. The disciples were overjoyed when they saw the Lord. Again, Jesus said, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am sending you." I imagine it must have been an awfully difficult time for the followers of Jesus at this time. Imagine the news of an empty tomb with the cloth and the linen left behind. Then reports that a lady called Mary Magdalene had seen him, had even talked to him. Someone you witnessed killed has been seen walking around in the neighborhood. That can be deeply disturbing. And this fear compounded by the emerging reality that the disciples really are next on line. In fact, one of them, called Peter, had had a close shave on the night Jesus was arrested and only got away by denying him 3 times. These were very, very tough times. So we understand why they have locked their doors in fear of Jewish leaders. There is fear, there is anxiety, they have thumping hearts, the sound of every approaching footsteps bringing a chill. And then, in the midst of this agonizing turmoil, Jesus suddenly appears and stands in their midst. And he must know what they're going through because he doesn't waste time. He doesn't even waste words. He says to them, "Peace be with you." And scripture tells us that they were glad. They were overjoyed. They rejoiced when they saw the Lord. Of course they must have. And all it took to flick the switch from fear to joy was an ordinary greeting, but pronounced by an extraordinary man. "Peace be with you." Just 4 words. And I imagine the more reflective amongst them would have been prompted to remember his promises earlier on. For instance, in John 14:27, when Jesus had said, "Peace I leave you, my peace I give you. I do not give peace as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." Another time, John 16:33, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. Because in this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Some amongst them perhaps even remembered the old prophecy about his birth as told in Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6, that passage that we hear at Christmas. "For to us a child is born, to us a child is given, and one of his names shall be Prince of Peace." Yes, the Prince of Peace, Jesus. The credentials of the resurrected Jesus are wrapped up and bound and soaked in peace. He is peace itself. And he offers this peace to anyone willing to receive it. And then what? As we receive it, we start to share in Jesus' extraordinariness. And we qualify ourselves as bearers of this message of peace, to share it with other people. And this is the good news of Easter, to proclaim God's peace wherever we find ourselves. Just think about it. Peace be with you. 4 words. These are 4 words that can brighten someone's day today. And you and I can be the bearers of these words. Peace be with you. It's a non-threatening prayer. It's a declaration. It's a statement that will flick the switch from despair to hope for someone. Because so much steals our joy, so much steals our well-being, our genuine efforts to make things work. There is so much that conspires to diminish the quality of our life. But on this day, please receive these words of Jesus and share them around. Peace be with you. Peace all round. Receive the peace of our risen Christ. Because these are the words of one who experienced a crown of thorns on his head, nails on his hands and feet, and a spear on his ribs. Punished as a criminal, though he was innocent. These are words of one who really understands suffering. That prophecy in Isaiah chapter 53 verse 5 again. He was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. May you know this peace in all situations, today and always. Amen.